What do you think should happen? What do you make of what President Trump has said? And what would you advise Prime Minister Keir Starmer to say to President Trump this week?
First of all, I think that on what you're hearing from the White House and a lot of people in America about the responsibility for the war and blaming Ukraine, saying Ukraine started it, this is Orwellian, right? You might as well blame the girl for attacking the shark in the opening reel of Jaws. It's just total rubbish. Ukraine is the victim. And don't forget, a sovereign country is a great thing. A sovereign country can decide which clubs it wants to join, like NATO. A sovereign country can decide which troops it wants to invite onto its soil to help protect it. And that, to answer your question, Susanna, about my advice to Keir Starmer and the UK, now is the moment for us to step up and do what I think that Trump wants Europe to do, and that is show how we have a plan to help secure Ukraine. And that's going to mean, I believe, UK troops, are going to mean French troops, troops from other European countries. And I think to a certain extent, there's deal making going on, there's brinkmanship, but when you look at the potential of the agreement, I think that it's positive for Ukraine. And don't forget, the fundamental loser in all that is going to be Putin, because what Putin wants is Ukraine to be a vassal state of Russia, right? What this deal envisages is an economic partnership with America. And the two things are simply not compatible. This is binary. And the United States is giving Ukraine the chance to choose a future with the West and with the United States. And I think that's positive.
Well, who's turned up in Kiev? But Boris Johnson. The last time he was there, of course, was in April 2022, when he tore up, at the behest of Washington, a perfectly generous peace deal that was offered by the Russian Federation. Now, since that time, approximately 500,000 young Ukrainian men have been killed or maimed in combat, and probably another 60 or 65,000, we don't know, Russian young men. When there was a peace deal, a signed peace deal on the table in April 2022. And Boris doesn't seem to care at all. There's no hint of apology in his voice. He's a psychopath. And only legacy media could ask him a question with a straight face. What advice would he give to Keir Starmer? Of course, he's a sociopath. What an extraordinary question. What is Boris doing there? Is he there to sabotage yet another peace deal that might come about? Why do these people get airtime, virtually unchallenged? Boris Johnson is an extremely bad man. We all know that now. Whatever we might have thought in the days of Lord Mayor of London, jovial Boris actually is a nutter with blood on his hands. And yet nobody's talking about it. And now he's the supreme editor of the Daily Telegraph, a once prestigious newspaper. I really do worry for this country. Do you worry for this country? Can we do anything about it? Or we just have to hunker down and put up with it? As most of you know, my work is very heavily independently research-based. And I get my information from all over the world. It would help if you press the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, because the more subscribers I have, the more likely it is that international independent research institutes will share their material with me. It's most helpful, and then of course I automatically share it with you. So, surprise, won't cost you anything. Thank you very much.